I've faced the hardest few years of my life. I've also experienced the greatest success in other areas of my life. And at first, I thought this was maybe an accident. Like, what are the odds of this happening? And then when I reflected, I realized that I made a mental shift in my life that shifted me kind of away from a victim mentality and into a more leadership role mentality. That's because I observed that all the people that I want to be like, all the greatest leaders who are wealthy, who create structures and systems that create wealth for others, who create life-changing organizations, all of these people have the ability to handle an intense amount of stress and chaos. And they have this different mindset that view stress differently. And I've been putting that into practice. Now, there's two ways you can turn negativity and stress into success in your life. The first one is more internal and the other is external. Internally, if you want to be a great leader and you want to be super successful, you have to have internal strength. So the illustration my one mentor showed me is that of a submarine. Now, when a submarine gets deeper and deeper and deeper into the ocean, it faces more and more pressure from the weight of the ocean. And if the submarine doesn't have great internal pressure, it will be crushed by the external pressure. You're going to have an immense internal strength to handle those really, really stressful moments in your life. So the way I do this personally, I spend a lot of time building my internal strength with my faith by realizing that there is a God, there's a higher power who cares for me. There's a higher power who has a greater way of doing things. And if I follow him and if I learn from his example, and if I expose my own weaknesses and try to improve on them, I will build an internal strength. You can also do this by practicing other skills that build internal strength, by practicing better emotional regulation, by getting healthy coping skills instead of negative ones. Now, the second way you can take a stressful moment and turn it into an opportunity is by seeing that the problem before you has a solution. All problems have solutions. The greater problem you can solve, the more likely you will be successful. The more likely you will be a great leader. The more likely you will be able to earn more money in your ventures. So now take a problem and instead of viewing that problem as a pity party, like poor me, I have this awful circumstance in my life. View the problem as an opportunity to solve it. And by creating a solution for a problem, you have a potential business idea, right? Because all a business is a group that solves problems for other people in exchange for money. The bigger problem you can solve, the more money you are likely to make, right? Like when I wanted to make a business by being in audio production, what I kept running into is that a lot of people had cheap enough gear and the ability to record themselves at home, and they could save every dollar by doing so. Also, what I realized is that I was trying to solve a problem for a population that didn't have very much money, right? Musicians typically don't have tons of money. So you're trying to offer them a solution that's expensive and they don't have a lot of money. Now I've shifted a lot of my focus business-wise into property management. Property management is time intensive. There is a lot of stress. I literally was on the phone till 10 p.m. having an emergency HVAC situation last night. I make a lot more money doing that because I'm solving a problem that is a greater problem, and I'm solving a problem for a population that actually has money, investors. So you see problems and you can use them to A, build your internal strength, but B, figure out a solution for the problem. The better solution, the better system, the greater chance of you being successful. So what are some problems that you're facing right now? And what are the opportunities in that problem, whether they're internal or external? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see it in the comments.